Hey, Hugh Taylor here with the do's and don'ts of press release headlines. So today we're going to look at some press release headlines and see if we can figure out what you should and shouldn't do to make them really great and get attention. First, we're going to talk about the do's. Do, be clear, be scannable, and be relevant. So let's take a look at what these three things mean. So we're going to look at press release headlines from Marketers Media, which is a press release distribution service that I work with. And my caveats always apply, which is there's no right and wrong way to do this, but I will say that there are better and worse ways to do it, depending on what you want to achieve. So let's take a look at what it means to be clear on a press release. So this press release here, Jenny Chem makes buying cleaning chemicals a one-click affair with free delivery across the UK, is pretty clear. The company's called Jenny Chem, and what they're doing is fairly clear. My only criticism of this press release title is it's a little bit long, and there's kind of a little bit of a space between buying chemicals and free delivery, but otherwise I think it's very good. They say what they mean, you get it, it's pretty clear. I think it's good. In terms of what does it mean to be scannable, scannable means being able to be read at high speed. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Petroco appoints new chief financial officer. That's 6 words, right? 6 words. Petroco appoints new chief financial officer. Extremely easy to understand and read. It can be scanned in about a quarter of a second. And this is important because reporters don't have a lot of time. And you have about a quarter of a second to grab their attention. So assuming that they know who Petroco is, because that's one small problem with this, it's not clear who they are, but if you're covering their industry, you might know who Petroco is, and you'll be interested in the fact that they've appointed a new executive. Okay? Being relevant is another aspect of this. So Beldex announces major upgrades to its network and ecosystem. Okay, now assuming the reporter covers this company or this industry, this is a relevant announcement. This is an announcement of a major upgrade to its network. So this is an example of a press release. It's relevant and also clear and pretty scannable. Okay, so now let's change the channel and talk about the don'ts. Don't be vague. Don't be irrelevant. Don't insert excessive modifiers. Use passive voice or fragments. Okay, this is where your English teacher from high school is going to come in and wrap your fingers with a ruler. Okay. So let's look at this. Don't be irrelevant. This headline: Lorna Johnson Institute Virtual Town Hall features Majority Whip James Clyburn. Here's the problem with this. There's nothing really wrong with this. It's just I don't know who Lorna Johnson is or what the institute is, and I don't really know what why it's important that Majority Whip James Clyburn is going to be there. So unless I'm really covering this carefully, it just doesn't really grab me. Okay, it's not super relevant. Here's another one that talks about that hiring a maid house cleaning service that in my view it doesn't really hit the relevance test, partly because of this: cleaning for a reason in 2020. What does that mean? Okay, that's a problem. It doesn't connect. Certainly if you're reading this at high speed like a reporter might, it's like you're gonna miss, like a swing and a miss. Now let's talk about inserting excessive modifiers, passive voice, and fragments. This one: the secret of PP Tutor's popularity in global Chinese families. This is a fragment. It's missing a verb. You don't have to have a verb in a press release headline, but it certainly helps. So you might want to say, this a better way to say this might be say, PP Tutor reveals the secret of its popularity in global Chinese family. Then it's a little more of an action sentence. This one is just a little too long and has too much too much in it. It says, breast prosthesis market 2020 by demand insights, strong development, ongoing trends, market statistics, industry segmentation, and regional outlook till 2025. This headline, I think, is probably trying to snag some keyword indexing in Google, if I had to venture a guess. It's not really trying to be readable because it's got all this stuff in it, and it really should say something like, new report, reveals breast prosthesis market trends, something like that, something a little clearer. Or new report from Demand Insights, highlights developments and trends in the breast prosthesis market. This press release has an excessive phrase inserted into it. It says, personal injury attorney in Michigan at Mike Morse Law Firm secures justice and compensation for personal victims. So again, I think this is a keyword play. Personal injury attorney in Michigan. That's a search engine hook. Okay. What I think is off base here is at Mike Morse Law Firm. This is just one phrase too many for this headline, in my opinion. You could say personal injury attorney in Michigan secures justice and compensation for injury victims, or Mike Morse Law Firm attorney, personal injury attorney in Michigan secures justice and compensation. It's hard to read, therefore it's not an effective headline. This one, ash scattering services and online memorials in 2020 disrupts the funeral industry, it just doesn't read quite right. Again, it's this in 2020, I think, is in the wrong place. It should say ash scattering services and online memorials disrupt the funeral industry in 2020. There's also a grammatical mistake here. It's verb subject agreement. Ash scattering services and memorials, that's plural, disrupt the funeral industry. So again, you got to be careful. Don't make mistakes. I may have made a few over the years myself, but I'm not admitting anything. But you got to be careful. Don't want to look like you don't know English. So this one, Dallas, Texas Growth Legal Advice Finance Protection Law Services expanded, uses passive voice, and putting this verb expanded at the end, you have to get through a lot before you figure out what this is really about. So I think that, and I don't know exactly what they're trying to say here, but it's actually a law firm. See what it says, Vision Legal has expanded. It really should say something like Vision Legal expands its advice for the finance protection law, or something like that. So this is really an ineffective headline in my view. But again, it could be a keyword thing, although I can't quite see that either. Dallas, Texas Business Growth Legal Advice. Hard to know what they're trying to do. Anyway, these are some do's and don'ts for press release headlines. I hope you find that valuable. If you want to learn more about how to write press releases, check out our How to Get Free Publicity course below, and wish you luck with your public relations activities.